They are there. They are always there. They are those who have lost their reason. They are those who have lost their humanity. They were once like us. But life was fierce with them, mistreating their bodies and their minds, denying them what many others enjoyed without even valuing. And after much suffering they succumbed to the cruelty of the world, before the indifference of the well-to-do. Their souls were devoured by atrocious and fateful events, their minds were consumed by unsatisfied longings for compensation, their lives were finally extinguished amid screams and sorrows, to re-emerge as the unfathomable presences whose name no one pronounces, whose existence some know but very few dare to admit, saddened. But they exist. They are not deliriums. I know it. And who are you now to try to resist the corruption of its evil influence, to only think of facing the horror of its ominous presence? When you close your room door, when you close your bathroom door, they will be there, watching from the other side of the door, waiting, craving what they no longer have. But when you open the door again they won't be there. Just maybe you think you see a fleeting shadow, just maybe you'll catch a glimpse of a sudden presence. There will be nothing now. But you will feel the restlessness grow inside you. It's the dull footsteps you hear behind you when you walk down your house passage at night. They are the fleeting silhouettes that you see in the mirror, on the glass of the showcase, on your computer screen, behind you. But when you look, when you turn, there will be nothing. Because they don't want you to see them. At least not yet. But have no doubt, they are there. You can't see them. But animals do, because they can distinguish things that human senses cannot. And if you see that your pet is staring at a point, it is because there is something there that your eyes, that your senses, do not perceive. And it may be something that watches you, that waits for you, that looks for you. His evil is already spreading throughout the world, invisible to our eyes blinded by the brightness of the screens and the arrogance of the steel and glass towers. It thrives in the dark and gloomy corners, among the darkness that the splendors of a deceitful society cannot reach, whose dazzling brilliance cannot disperse, extending its corrupt threads through the roots of the city, unknown to the majority, denied by some disbelievers, consciously ignored by a powerful few. And it is that same ignorance that allows this sick miasma to spread slowly but steadily in the bowels of the decadent civilization. One by one their victims succumb. So far there are not many, but each day that passes new innocent souls tormented by them are captivated and finally devoured by their inextinguishable and unknowable evil, inadvertently vanishing into a fathomless void, not understanding the surprised and dismayed relatives of the unfortunate what has happened. Because his perversity knows no limit, and his vile stalking will only end when any vestige, any memory of joy and bustle, of life itself, has vanished and in the world only remains the languid silence and anguishing stillness of his ill-fated work, its insatiable bitterness and the gloom of its ubiquitous presence. And now they are looking for you. They are looking for you at this very moment. Because they inhabit a parallel reality, a different reality, to ours. They are looking for you. They long for what they no longer have, what was unjustly and cruelly taken from them. For a while you will be able to avoid them, either by still ignoring their existence, or by still wanting to remain blind and deny the undeniable, avoiding the fateful outcome. But the unfortunate fate will end up arriving, inexorable, and then the calamity will really begin. They will no longer prevent you from seeing them at first, and will openly manifest themselves to you, at least momentarily. You will distinguish them at the end of the passage, when you turn on the light, when you open a door, when you turn around, in the mirror. You will be able to see their disturbing features, hear their creepy whispers, hear their calls. They may even take a few steps towards you while you feel your body paralyzed by the unhealthy influence of their mere presence, and then they will vanish into nothingness as suddenly as they appeared. But the memory of their appearance and the uneasiness of the knowledge of their existence will no longer leave you, and you will be able to glimpse them in the shadows at any moment, wherever you are, while listening incessantly to their murmur among the sounds of everyday life. The restlessness and fear of their stalking and the certainty of their uncertain proximity, even in the increasingly rare moments when you do not see them, will accompany you in every second of a life that has now become such a hell that death itself will begin to seem like the only, and even yearn for, liberation, while your fortitude, your sanity, your serenity, your very hopes of salvation are gradually cracking. Relatives, friends and colleagues will notice the incomprehensible growing nervousness of the one stalked by them, but such is their anguish and panic that they will only evade questions about what is happening to them, refusing to talk about what is really happening to them, fearing that just mentioning the existence of these unfathomable demonic entities would cause them to manifest right there. It will last some days, a few weeks with luck. The light of the sun will be unable to alleviate your anguish, to dispel the oppressive shadow of its ubiquitous presence, but the night will be even worse, since the darkness will be the herald of its advent and of the inexorable doom that looms. Because they will slide into your room. They will slip into your dreams, violating your most hidden thoughts. So sleeping will become increasingly difficult, even in the brightest bedside light, and when exhaustion finally overcomes you, disturbing visions and abominable nightmares will intrude and invade your longed-for fragile repose, denying it to you, until you wake up gasping for breath and terrified, and you will think with all the strength of your being that they have not found you. Not yet. But it will eventually happen. The time will come when they finally find you. Because once again you will wake up in the middle of the night, seized with agitation, and for a second you will think that it is one of many occasions in which the same thing has happened. But soon you will feel an unknown breath around you, a chill in your bones and a sudden uneasiness caused by the anguishing premonition of the vague threat of a shadowy and indefinite presence. Such will be your disturbance that no member or muscle of your body will respond to the agonizing and irrepressible desire to escape. Some unbelievers call it sleep paralysis. But this time it will be something much more sinister than a simple lack of sensory coordination. It's them. And that's when everything will end. No one knows for sure what really happens to their victims, as they vanish into a misty and unfathomable void, into a mournful oblivion, as a macabre consummation of the unfortunate events narrated. The only thing that they leave behind their work is a completely destroyed bedroom, the unknown about the fateful fate of the one they have been martyring, and a painful memory of an irresolvable and incomprehensible enigma for those who knew who has succumbed to the perverse acts of them. They are already here. Because they have found you,